In closing here, are you guys going to give up? Is now this, hey, the Liberals won? What is the battle cry for the Canadian patriot? Because I just have such respect for you guys. Because even though that, people in California say, Charlie, it's so bad here. I said, no. Go to Ontario. Go to Toronto. Yeah. Go to Ottawa. Yeah. Are you going to give up? 1 minute remaining, Ezra.
That was one of the last things Charlie Kirk ever said to me. And I've been thinking a bit more about the answer. I have an idea, though, so please stick around till the end of this video. I want to share it with you. Charlie was America first, but he loved Canadians. And he was always checking in on us at Rebel News to make sure we were okay, like when Mark Carney won the election. Charlie would invite me on his show sometimes. It was his way of trying to support us, especially if he saw that we were in trouble with the government. Can I show you one of the last conversations I had with him right after the election when freedom-loving Canadians were pretty down in the dumps? Charlie was worried, and so was I, but I always try to be a bit braver when I was talking to him, so he invited me on the show.
We're going to dive deeper into the Canadian results here with my friend Ezra Levant from Rebel News. Ezra, great to see you. You actually have a glass half full interpretation of the Canadian election results. Tell us about it.
Thanks. I mean, you got to, if you're a conservative in a left of center country like Canada, you always got to be looking for the silver lining. We talked for more than half an hour. He really cared about Canada. He knew a lot about us, and especially our battles for free speech. He was worried whenever one of our Rebel News journalists was arrested, including me. Charlie was tough on immigration, but he used to joke that he would let me become an honorary American, and I think he meant it as in Rebel News fights for freedom, and that's what he did too, and he knew we faced some of the same threats he did.
From a country that we're having a little tussle with right now, but we just love this guy. He's a patriot, and he could be an honorary American anytime he wants. He's a freedom fighter. Ezra Levant, Canadian journalist, rebelnews.com.
We have to hire security guards to protect our journalists from Antifa and from pro-Hamas extremists, and actually from violent trans extremists, just like he had to do. No other journalists in Canada have to go through that because no other journalists in Canada are attacked by the left in the same way. Charlie asked me what it was like to live in a country without the First Amendment. Here's what I told him.
So Ezra, I know I mentioned this previously, but I want to reiterate it. Can you talk and speak to the importance of what you wish you had as far as alternative media and free speech? What if Canada had so Canada's like the size of California. So just in California, imagine if you had free media, open media, alternative media, influencers, and laws that allow you to do those things. What would Canada look like?
It would be completely different. We are constantly fighting for even basic freedom of speech and freedom of the press, and it is a very costly battle because we do not have the First Amendment. I went on to list a half dozen legal battles we're in, including suing the police for falsely arresting our reporters 5 times. I think he was worried. Here's what he said next. He said, "Are you going to give up?"
In closing here, are you guys going to give up? Is now this, hey, the Liberals won? What is the battle cry for the Canadian patriot? Because I just have such respect for you guys. Because even though that, people in California say, Charlie, it's so bad here. I said, no. Go to Ontario. Go to Toronto. Yeah. Go to Ottawa. Yeah. Are you going to give up? 1 minute remaining, Ezra.
No, I love this is my home. I mean, for generations, my family being here, this is my country. I'm not going to give it up without a fight. We fought during the COVID lockdowns, which were extreme up here. Remember the Canadian truckers?
Oh, of course
they came and they broke the fever and they set an example for the world. And remember, no politicians supported them. They didn't have a big super PAC behind them. It was grassroots people saying enough is enough. That inspires me, those truckers. So we're going to keep fighting. And of course, we're not going to give up. But sometimes it's hard. Unlike 99% of the media in Canada, we don't take government grants. We're at a competitive disadvantage to those who do. We have the massive expense of security to protect our reporters from Antifa thugs, and we have big legal bills to fight for our free speech. Here's what Charlie said to me, one of the last things he ever told me. He said he hoped to see me soon.
Ezra, God bless you, my friend. Hope to see you soon. It's a depressing picture from my view, but your optimism and positivity is remarkable and noteworthy. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. I didn't get the chance to see him because he was murdered by a left-wing extremist. When you talk to a friend who is 31 years old and healthy, it never crosses your mind that it could be the last time you ever speak with him, let alone that he'd be murdered because he's fighting for freedom, the same fights we're in. As we head into 2026, All of the things Charlie worried about for America are getting worse in Canada too. More censorship, out of control immigration, a failing economy, less hope for young people, a crime wave. So he asked me, are you guys going to give up? What do you think he'd want us to do? What do you think he'd expect me to do? And our Rebel News journalists, he would expect us to fight, to cover the news, especially the news that other media won't cover, like we did during COVID. He'd want us to continue to take on corruption and mass immigration and censorship, and to go out among the people and tell their stories and help fight their battles, stand up for the underdog, like we did for the pastors and the truckers. I think that's what Charlie liked about us the most. We don't just report the news. Every once in a while we stop and get involved, whether it's our billboard truck or hiring a lawyer for someone who couldn't afford one on their own, or giving a voice to people who don't have a voice, or when we sponsored Christian refugees to get out of Iraq. Charlie also talked a lot about the truckers. I think he would be thrilled to know that we just hired Tamara Leach as our newest rebel. And he'd be excited that we're going to put her on a campus tour, just like Charlie used to do. That's what he'd want Rebel News to do, I think. What do you think he'd want you to do? Mainly, I think he'd want you to not give up, to not be demoralized, to find the energy and hope and faith to keep fighting. And I'd like to think that he'd want you to continue to support us too. I won't presume to speak for him, but he knew we had no big backers, just a lot of little backers through crowdfunding. He liked that about us. When I had that conversation with Charlie, I never thought that it would be one of our last. When he told me to keep fighting him, I never thought it would be his last request of me. We talk about Charlie Kirk a fair bit here at the Rebel News office. In the new year, Tamara Leach will be going from college to college, convincing young people to believe in freedom, just like Charlie did. We're going to have to hire a lot of security for Tamara. In my mind, that's the best way for us to live up to Charlie's expectations of us, don't you think? And can I invite you to join us and help us to keep my final promise to Charlie? I only need your help for that one part, the security team, to protect Tamara Leach on campus, and for all of our other journalists who bravely go into the world. For example, every time our reporters Alexa and Guillaume go out in Montreal, we need 4 security guards with them because police refuse to stop Antifa thugs. We've got everything else covered already for the tour, but if you can protect our team as we all try to keep our promise, please go to journalistdefensefund.com. If you contribute $100 or more, we'll invite you on a special donors-only Zoom call early in the new year when you can chat with me, Tamara Leach, and our other reporters directly. And any donations of $1,000 or more will get a one-on-one thank you phone call from Tamara herself. I want to keep my promise to Charlie and to you and to my conscience. I told him I wouldn't give up even if things get tough, and I intend to keep that promise. If you can help me by helping me keep our reporters safe, please do by going to journalistdefensefund.com. Thanks.